laps. I'm just kind of towards the end of my ride here. I got a few more things I want to work on with this guy tonight, but we're getting towards the end here. But thought I might do tonight is talk to you guys a little bit about um, why I still do this, even when it's hard. And just wanted to kind of try to relate to you guys a little bit. Um, like, have any of you ever just like, you know what? I'm throwing in the towel. This is it. And I don't know what the stats are, but I feel like probably at least half the people that get into horses get out pretty quick. Maybe it's due to a wreck, maybe it's finances, maybe it's due to the struggle, maybe such an incident happens, like a wreck or horse gets injured or different things. But my point is, this is not easy. Being in the horses is not easy. And I look at the most prominent people in the industry, the most successful, and things like that. And what I see is people that are just extremely resilient. They are like they can just take a lick and just keep on going. I'm not saying everybody needs to be that way, but I notice those traits are there, especially if they're at the top. So like that's why they're at the top is they have those traits because a normal person uh, going through the things that they had to go through would have quit a long time ago. They'd have thrown in the towel. They'd have made an excuse. Say something would have happened. They just folded for sure. And for me, why I don't quit is there's a lot of things that a person could do in life, right? And I feel like pretty much everybody, we got to get up, we got to go to work, right? We got to choose something that we're going to do every day, even if you don't have to work. Like maybe you're not financially uh, obligated to bills or whatever. You just don't need to work for whatever reason. I feel like even in that situation, which is not me, but even in that situation, you've got to have a sense of purpose. Like I was talking to a guy the other day and he's retired and he's made millions and done his thing and he's in one of the biggest corporations ever. Um, and is really successful. And I looked at him now, and even though he's retired, just talking to him, what he had said is he had gone back out of retirement at least twice already. Gone back to work because he's just bored, and he has a place in a facility. He's not a horse trainer, but um, it was just interesting talking to him because I guess even though he'd had a successful career, even though he had the enough funds to retire and all that, and he had the resources, I could see he was searching for a sense of purpose, you know. And I think that's probably one of the biggest reasons why I do this because I was watching another thing today and uh, they were just talking about, it was Tony Robbins, and he was talking about how, I think he said he's made like making over like 12 billion dollars now, maybe yearly. I don't know. It's just some insane number that I'll ever even under comprehend. But my point was, he's making enough money that like he's achieved the money thing, right? Doesn't need the money. And what he was talking about is a sense of purpose. One, and having a family, enjoyed that. His wife, and then feeding people was his big thing. I forget the numbers, but they're feeding like 1 billion people a year now or something meals, and just some unheard of number. Even bigger than like anybody that's their job is to serve meals or make it happen. He's doing more, and just that one feat alone is insane. But my point is this: he's looking for purpose, something to drive, something for motivation, something that goes beyond the dollar and the daily 9 to 5 and the job and things like that. And I got to thinking, it's like I have all those things that he's talking about in a sense. Like I have a good family and I've got uh, good horses and I've got a good thing I like to do every day with the horses, and I was like, I have a lot of those things. Like my meals are serving people, and my family is my horses, and I have a few family members, but like the combination, like I have things that like a family can fulfill to some extent. I don't have children, but like I have pieces of those things. Um, And I just was like, no matter what the challenges are, like, what else are you going to do? Right? You're going to wake up and just struggle at something you don't enjoy. Like, the struggle is going to be there regardless. So I look at people and, like, whether you guys have horses as a career or not, or whether you own horses and that's, maybe you just ride on the weekends or you ride once a month or whatever the thing is, maybe you just own a horse or you lease a horse or something. I think there's just a certain level of um, like passion and um, purpose that are involved in that. Like, just to be a horse person and to struggle is almost an anomaly anymore. Like, especially with the number of people, I'd have to look it up. We could Google it or something. And but I'm sure at least half the people that get into horses probably get out of horses pretty quick due to different things. And so if you've survived in horses more than just a couple of years, or you've had them your whole life, um, you understand that challenges are just part of it, and you get attached, And um, we just sold a horse yesterday, and I was a little sad about it, but then I was like, you know what? It's part of the journey. And I look around, and there's a lot of people that sell horses. I don't normally get horses to sell them. This horse in particular, that was his main purpose, was we're going to get him and get him onto a good life, right? And part of that's to sell them. We wouldn't just give them away, because it's like giving away free puppies. You don't really know uh, what type of home you're getting into. The odds, if they're paying some money, that they go to a better home is probably higher. So we put a price tag on there, and it's sad to see him go. But the biggest thing was like he gets to go on to a life that's maybe a little more suited to him. We were trying to turn this warm blood into a ranch horse, and he did. He turned into a good ranch horse. You could rope off him and start colts off him and sort cattle and do a whole bunch of cool stuff with him. But he's probably destined more for some jumps and some dressage and things like that we just don't do around here. I mean, we can, but we just don't, like, that's not our main focus and clientele. So I guess my point is, it's like, why would I be sad about that? It's like, well, because I'm passionate about these things. And, we can't keep all the horses, but like, because I'm passionate, like, we're going to run into some struggles, but I'm just like, you're fortunate to have that problem, right? You're fortunate to have that issue. You're thankful that that horse came into your life. Thankful that he got to spend time with us and teach us some things. And we got to get him into a good start, get some experience on. I don't think that horse would have been houseable if unless he'd come somewhere like this to get going. It took a long time to get him going properly, and I feel like he's got a really good thing going for him now currently. And then I look around, and I got, like, over here we got a young horse. I'm on a young horse here. We got more horses coming up the pipeline. So um, my point is, no matter what your struggles are, I know that doesn't seem like a big struggle. Like, oh, you sold a horse. Okay. But um, just remember, like, those are the things that help grow you. If you took the challenges away, you'd be like that guy I was talking to the other day that's retired. Like, he he went back to work twice because he's just bored. He's like, my biggest concern was like, you know, how close am I going to position my chair uh, to the shade or not? Like, am I going to sit out in the sun today or in the shade? Those are the big decisions. And he's out there used to be solving not quite world issues, but kind of things that affected the whole world, really, in a way. Some of the stuff he was working on and programming and doing, he was affecting a lot of world. And I think about that. It's like, man, like, at the end of the day, it's like, are you going to struggle? Like, struggle with this, Is it going to struggle with this and that? And like, that means you're doing something. That means you're engaged. That means you have something going on. And I know sometimes people are just like, oh, I don't want to go to the barn, or it's later, it's darker, it's this, that, or the other. And it's like, well, at least it's in your life. I've been places, traveled and stuff where there aren't any horses. And if there are, there's not really any opportunity for them, like the person or the horse in those communities. Like there's no arenas, there's no horse shows, there's no neighbors with horses, there's no pony club and 4-H club and fairs and all the things that come with horses, endurance riding, reining shows and jumping shows. There's just nothing. You could own the animal. There's nothing around. Like there's nothing to support it. So I just think to myself, man, we got it real hard, don't we? We got indoor arenas, we got outdoor arenas, we got communities, we got trailers to haul horses to facilities when we don't have a facility. We got neighbors with horses. We got it real tough. What's the hardest thing we got to do? Walk outside to your horse. He's 200 feet away. That's tough. So tough. It's like, no, it's not. Well, I'm tired. It's 6 o'clock at night. Like, what is it tonight? 7 o'clock. Well, it's not late in the summer. You're out till 9 or 10, probably dinking around just because it's still sunlight, right? We were out on a project last night. Turn the headlights on. Finish this thing up. It sucks a little bit because it's nice having light for the project, but like just because it's dark, when you gotta quit, let's finish it up. We were kind of at a point where we couldn't just quit. Like we had to, like we just couldn't stop right there. Not because we wanted it, just we were halfway through something, and if we left it, it'd be ruined if we didn't finish it all the way. So stuff was kind of setting up and forming, and if you let it form when you're not there, it's not going to turn out good. So, anyway, uh, little challenges, right? You just make it work. So maybe put on here in the chat. Uh, put a one if you've ever had a major challenge in the horse industry, and then two, um, if you could put what's one challenge you think you're going to try to overcome this week? It's Sunday, right? There's things coming up. I know I've got things in my life coming up that I've got to deal with, take care of, and easy stuff, medium, easy stuff, super hard stuff, right? It's all there sitting in front of me, stuff that's not going to like take care of itself that you got to step up to. But what's one thing? You don't have to get into details, but I'm going to check one thing off my list. You know what? I am going to go work with my horse. It's only 200 feet out the door this week. I am going to, you know, put a headlamp on, go see that sucker. Maybe it's just hang out with him and just, I've got some of my horses, they have this feeder. And like, so it's like a triangle like this. And the horses are like on the outside of the triangle, but you could walk up in there, just right up into this triangle area where the feed goes. You just hang out there. Yeah, I don't have to go into the paddock or anything, and I just hang out there and pet on the horses. Maybe that's what you do. You just go out and just like reach your hand through the stall and just hang out with your horse for 15 minutes. Tell them about your day. You know, something. Making riding top priority. Kathy Kaiser said. One, and as soon as I feel better, I'm out there. Aw, good job, Russ. Yeah, I heard you were sick a little bit there, Karen. I hope you get better soon. Donita's losing weight. I like that. That's tough sometimes. I'm not a health person, Donita, but I did get, and I mean, you see, I got a little chubby a couple years ago. I was just not turning down anything. I was still in the mindset of like, I don't gain weight. I've never gained weight my whole life. It just never. And then I saw some photos like, oh man, I'm gaining a little weight. So uh, I watched some, I did a little research. I know everybody's different. Everybody's different. And I'm not a health specialist, but what I did for me, I started shopping outside aisle only. So I don't do any, well, I shouldn't say any, I don't do, but I'm like, I cleared so much processed food out of my diet. I try to eliminate all of it. And when I go to the store, I do not go down the center aisles unless it has something like I don't know, a pasta or something. That's probably, I shouldn't even do that. But any rate, that's what I did. And then I try to exercise a little bit every day. I'm still not into lifting weights and whatnot, but they say like 10,000 steps. And I feel like the days that I do 10,000 steps, things are feeling a little better. I know everybody's different. Some people can't walk that far or whatever, but yeah. And then, but my point, it worked. It helped. I'm not like 100% where I want to be, but it sure changed a lot of things. I knew it was working when someone says, "Are you okay?" I knew it was working because they're like, "You've lost so much weight." It's like, oh, good. So, oh my God. Okay. One major to me anyway. Horses are hard on the heart and checkbook. Yeah, for sure, Alicia. I get that. Kathy, I love my barn time. Hubby took over my barn chores. Tried to tell him how special barn time. Oh, that's good. Yeah, barn time is special, isn't it? I think that's partly why I do these lives here is yeah, he did. Yeah, he sure did. Yeah, Atticus. Is barn time. I like sharing a little bit of barn time. Yeah, old Atticus. But yeah, happy for Atticus. Yeah. He is a fun horse. He just, I'm not really an English guy. We all know that. It's cool having him around. I liked having him and all that. Um, but sometimes you gotta do what's best for the horse. So, New Zealand, Tracy's on here. Cool. Dan Zimmerman's got a one on here. Cool. So yeah, I guess what we were saying is put a one in the chat if you've ever had a major issue in the horse industry that you had to overcome, and then two, like what is it? What are you gonna do? Ride more. Tammy says, I like that. I do that with my cow. He just hangs out. I like that. He's got a cow. Cool. Bonnie says, getting my young mare to accept the noise of electrical tools like clippers and um, mad yeah, for sure. Complete the one right away program. I love that. Learning to trust my horse. Yeah. I hear you, Donita. Struggles are struggles. Oh, no GMO, she said. Yeah, there we go. Gals, I got a hint there. Working the troublemaker all month. Good. Yeah, he's got to be getting better. He's a baby. He's got to be. Katie, that's good. Yeah. Working out, getting your shoulder going. Oh, there you go. Cleaning the floor in the hay shed. That's good. Uh, get our lead every time. Got our lead. That's a huge accomplishment, Wendy. That's great. That's a good one. All right. Well, this has been good. Let's check out a few things with this horse real quick. We were working on some lefts and rights. He's had a few days off here. Let's turn this around. So I'm just gonna see how he is. I'm just gonna move my hand here a little to the left. He comes right around. Good. I want to hand center, pause. And I want to pick him up here. Ooh, he's ready to step right off to that right. I know it's backwards in the camera here because it's flipped around, but this is my right. I know it's your guys' left. And he steps right around. Hand center. Very good. He's better there. You're walking forward, hand down. See, relax, back him up. Just keep my hand down. Just simple things. And it's, when I'm in this indoor, there's not a whole lot that goes on here in the winter, but I do work on some basic things like this, like getting these feet to work, forward, stop, back up without moving the hand, right? A lot of times people are like, oh, my horse isn't listening. And I say to him, it's like, well, how many tools are you using? He's like, well, I need a new bit. And I'm thinking, the bit's about the last thing I use to control my horse. Uh, and I understand where they're coming from for sure, because I used to be that way. But it's the seat and legs. So, like, let's say I go to ride forward, okay, and I ask this horse to stop. Maybe I verbally say it. Maybe I sit down. Maybe I use my leg, and he doesn't. Then I'm going to pick up and I'm going to pull on him here and help him uh, move. But if I'm not using my other tools, like if this doesn't work at all with just my seat and my leg, I'm gonna certainly work on that, because if the only way I'm getting any control of this horse is through my rein. That's not good. It's like, it's fine. Like, I like riding with reins, don't get me wrong. And I always ride with a bit too. But if that's your main tool, that's like your number one outlet is the reins and the bit. Uh, and then something starts to go haywire, okay, then that's an issue because now you don't have a backup plan, right? Like, let's say he doesn't listen to me here, then I can pick my hand up and I can get him listening here. And then he kind of come up into that bridle there. So I'm gonna bump him with my leg here, not just pull on. Yeah, I'm gonna hold my rein there until everything starts to come together. It's like, there you go. Get some good feel. That's better. Let's see. Cutting down on sweets and sugar so I don't feel bad on the horse. Getting off the weight. There you go, Gail. I like it. To not hear wrong lead in April. You have time, Lindsay. You have time. Oh my God. Thank you, Donita. Looks great. Yeah. Wrong lead. Oh my gosh. This is going to be great, Lindsay. I cannot wait. I might, I'm tempted. Uh, Even if you get the proper lead, I might still holler it just to screw with you now that I know it's a thing. I'm sure you got some time to work it out. Let's see, it's January, it's almost February. So is it February? I feel like it's happening here. So anyway, we'll call it February. I guess it is February. You can tell I don't have a 9 to 5. I don't even know what day it is. So February, March, and then whatever time in April that class is. So we'll just call it minimum of 2 months, which is 60 days, which you could probably ride your horse 40 to 50 times in there, depending on your schedule. And if you worked on a bunch of side passing and backing and softening and shoulder control and the departures and whatnot, I bet uh, you'll get there. And I may not have to haul a wrong lead. That'd be great. Okay. I might have a new member coming to audit and bend. Nice, Donita. Lindsay, I'd expect nothing less. Bonnie, how do you stop a buck other than pulling the head to the side, lateral bend? I would say that's probably the best option, Bonnie. The real answer is how do you change the mental outlook of the horse to not want to in the first place? So I do that a lot of times in my warm ups. How I warm them up, I get them making choices, not just doing things. Like they have to make a choice. And the choice is determined by giving them two options, one option that's good and one option that's bad. And I don't stop until they make the good choice. That's a thing. We have lots of content in Equine Masterclass about how to do that, how to set that up. If you've ever been in the one right away, the very first time that we introduce that type of concept is the squeeze to a jump. That's one thing, one place. Yeah, so you got to get them more confident. You got to get them more responsible about what they want, they should be doing. Like these horses, they should seek the thing that you want. Like if I go to turn this horse around, let me get this going. If I go to move my hand here, he should turn. Now, because I'm not pulling back, he could walk forward, you know? He could just stand here. Like I could pull my hand over and he could just stand there, right? So he could make choices here, but he chooses the thing that I want and then I quit, you see. So you'd want to get a lot of those type of things happening for your basic exercises. But like if in this case, if I went to pull him sideways and he still walked forward or he didn't move or things, that's my sign that he's not seeking the things that I want. So when they're living more like that, they will tend to also have some side issues like bucking and bolting and stuff. Not every day, but because they're not seeking the positive things that you want, like seeking the maneuver, sometimes then they will seek the anti-maneuver. Like bucking is not a maneuver that we want, so that's an anti-maneuver, right? That's a try to quit. So they put more effort into stopping the day instead of starting the day, like instead of bucking, maybe if he just picked up his back and cantered off nicely, that's going into a maneuver, elevating his body, maybe like he might want to do with a buck, but for something positive. Little things like that. So a little hard to explain on a Facebook Live here, but it's a good little start for you. Something to chew on. Okay, bring a new member. The older you get, the faster time goes by. For sure, Gina. What Groundhog's Day? If he sees a shadow, is that what? Yeah, I feel like spring's a coming. I don't know, like it's so warm here right now. Like I know I'm bundled up. I just don't like being cold, but it's not freezing or anything. I'm hoping it still snows some because we so need it. But Karen says good challenge for all of us. Groundwork first, yeah, for sure. Groundwork. Yeah, if he's responding better bareback, um, you got to be a little more clear with your follow up there for sure when your saddle's on. Oh, I'm just starting one right away. Cool. Yeah. So, when you get to release to a jump, that'll be the first kind of concept of it. Um, but like, don't rush forward to it. Um, it'll help you. It's the first touch on that. And a lot of what I do there, Bonnie, is a lot of different ways to do that with a horse without doing the jump and things like that. So, ooh, Tammy doing a zero carb reset stops the sugar cravings. Interesting, Tammy. That's a good one. Okay. Thank you, Gina. 6 more weeks of winter if he sees his shadow. I hate to say it, I hope he sees his shadow. At least here. I don't know. Other parts of the country, they're probably good. I hope he sees it because we need some winter here. If we show him, snow might come. Yeah. Yeah. If it doesn't, yeah, the bugs, the fires, it's a thing, right, Kathy? We all know that up here for sure. All right. Well, I think I've been on here long enough. I appreciate you guys. Thank you for tuning in. Yeah, Karen needs winter also, she said. So, thank you guys for tuning in and hanging out with me, doing my barn time. Hopefully, you guys get a little barn time yourselves. And look forward to catching up with you guys again.